Rise, Meg.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Star Wars Meg, here to provide you with all of the news from a galaxy far, far away, and as always to give you a Mandalorian Season 2 update. So guys, this is the week that we receive the finale of Season 2 of Mando. It all comes down to this. We're expecting a big showdown between Moff Gideon and Mando and the rest of our allies as well. So in today's news update, we have a lot to get through. We're going to be speaking about what we can expect from this week's episode on Friday. We're also going to talk about Gina Carano and also a massive piece of news about Temuera Morrison and the future of Star Wars. Before we dive on in, please may I ask you to hit like down below, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and welcome if you are. We just reached 30,000 subscribers and I could not be more thrilled. Thank you all for your support. So without any more jibber jabber, let's dive into it. So guys, chapter 16, let's talk about it. So while very little is concrete at this point in terms of runtime and who's going to direct it, it's believed that it is going to be directed by Jon Favreau, and it's rumored to be a whopping 57 minutes long. Now this is just a rumor from a few sources which have correctly predicted the runtime so far this season, but please take this news with a pinch of salt. I do hope we get a really long episode because we need one to really tie in those loose ends. And if we're being completely honest, it's probably going to end on a cliffhanger and it's going to be absolutely action-packed. So from what I've read, it seems as though we are going to get the Force user who Grogu contacted on Tython right at the end, and it's probably going to be teased going into season 3. I actually want to share with you guys something I saw on the Star Wars speculation Reddit page, which really blew my mind, and yes, it is just speculation, but how awesome would it be if George Lucas was directing the final episode of this season? We know that he has been on set throughout the season to give directive tips to the likes of Carl Weathers, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, so why not have George Lucas as the guest director for the final episode of this season, where we introduce a Jedi we probably already know, either from the prequels or the original trilogy, and you know, a lot of people have been guessing that it's Luke Skywalker or Ezra Bridger or Cal Kestis or even Mace Windu. I think it would be a phenomenal idea to have George Lucas direct one episode of this season. There's no rules against it. Ultimately, he sold Lucasfilm to Disney, and from what I read in Bob Iger's book, there was nothing in the clause about George not contributing his ideas, or even being quote-unquote hired as a guest writer or guest director. I think if this piece of speculation comes true, the internet will literally break, even more so than when Ahsoka Tano appeared in The Jedi. What do you guys think? Do you think that's too far-fetched? Would you like to see George Lucas direct an episode of Mando? But having said all that, it is most likely going to be directed by Jon Favreau, and either way, I'm anticipating an absolutely phenomenal final episode of this season. But what do you guys think? So we've spoken about the directive direction, and we've also talked about the runtime, or rather, rumoured runtime. So let's talk about what we can expect. I've heard a lot of people in the comment section on my previous videos talking about the potential of Boba Fett dying. Personally, I can't help but feel that that's the direction Disney might go in terms of ending Boba Fett's arc and then having the spin-off series about him taking place before the events of The Mandalorian, about the time that he escaped the Sarlacc pit, just like in the aftermath novel Empire's End. I'm not going to be making any big predictions for chapter 16, but I think we are going to see Bo-Katan return, potentially even Ahsoka Tano. I think, like I've said before, it's going to be a big endgame style confrontation with Moff Gideon, and I think he has a lot of surprises up his sleeve. I also think we're going to get answers to what the cloning project is all about, and also which direction Grogu is going to go in the future. And like I said earlier, we are most likely going to see the Jedi, or rather the Force user who answered Grogu's call. I don't know why everyone's convinced it's going to be a light side user. It could be a plot twist and we might get a dark side user or even an Imperial Inquisitor. Let me know what you guys think of this down below. So let's get to some actual news now, and we're going to be talking about Gina Carano. So I don't really cover any sort of controversies to do with her because I don't like getting political in the slightest here on my channel, but this one is less to do with politics and more to do with the character of Cara Dune. So the article is titled "The Mandalorian, Some Fans Think Gina Carano Needs to Go, Not Just Because of Her Controversial Tweets." So they write, "The Mandalorian has a great selection of strong female characters such as the Armorer. Cara Dune was introduced in the same season as a bold and strong female character, partnering with Djarin, yet fan reviews are not as positive as you might have hoped. Some fans on Reddit are pushing for the character to be scrapped, with one saying that in a show and franchise with many compelling female leads, her character comes off as a flat, strong female stereotype that is not necessarily in a show with multiple solid female characters." So in essence, what these fans are saying is that Cara Dune's character comes across as a stereotype for what you'd expect for a strong female character without actually being one. Now, I disagree with this. I think Cara Dune's character is absolutely fine, but I did prefer her in season 1, I'm not going to lie to you. She seems to have kind of checked out a little bit in this season, and while she has been really badass, taking on stormtroopers and Imperial officers, overall I can't help but feel that there's so much more that they can do with her character that they're not doing. So like I said, what do you guys think? Putting aside her tweets, putting aside her political beliefs and whatever else, do you think Cara Dune in and of herself is a good character this season in The Mandalorian? So now we talk about the amazing New Zealand actor who cannot stay out of the press lately because of his phenomenal performance as Boba Fett in this season, Temuera Morrison, but this time it's some big news to do with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that was announced a few days ago. So Temuera Morrison has reportedly been cast in that show, but not as Boba Fett. That's right, it could turn out that Rex is returning, but in live action form. That is something that the Clone Wars fans have wanted to see for such a long time. So according to this article, Temuera Morrison has been absolutely knocking out the park in The Mandalorian, but the live action Disney Plus show is not the only one he's been cast for. It's now been confirmed that he's been cast in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, probably as one of the well-known clones such as Rex. I think it'd be awesome to see what happened to Rex after the events of the Clone Wars. And while he could be playing multiple surviving clones, it'd be interesting to see what they did after the events of episodes 2 and 3 of Star Wars. I believe Rex and other clones set up a retirement kind of facility on Tatooine after the events of Revenge of the Sith, so we're going to see this actually happen in the Kenobi series, which is one of the shows I'm looking most forward to. And finally, we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3. First of all, I can't believe how quickly this season of Mando has flown by, but here we are in a position to be talking about Season 3 now. So they're aiming for a December 2021 premiere date, so basically a year away from now. Lucasfilm president Miss Kennedy announced that Season 3 of The Mandalorian is currently in pre-production and is probably going to air sometime in late 2021. No specific date was set for the Season 3 premiere, but it's most likely to be in the second week of December of 2021. As I say, we can't really speculate until we've had the season finale on Friday. I'm so excited, but at the same time I'm really sad to leave this whole season behind, because ultimately this has been such an incredible journey from start to finish. All of the pre-anticipation that happened over the summer, and now it's finally coming to a close. Very sad, but hey, we have so many Star Wars projects to look forward to with the Kenobi series, The Mandalorian Season 3, Lando, A Droid Story, The Bad Batch, you name it. We have a lot to look forward to, and Star Wars is truly alive. So I'm wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have an amazing one.